Hello and welcome to round 8 of the eSGT inaugural GT3 season. I am streaming. Thank you, Dawson, for asking. But let's see. I should probably announce that in the Discord, right? Let people know that we out here. We doing it. Let me get the link to the video and I'll make that happen. Copy link. And alright, done that part, done my job. Let's see what's going on out here. Actually, let's take a look at who we're gonna have on the grid. We have a shortened grid today. A lot of drivers that are supposed to be in Division 1 like Darkrai and Awoob and Defsun are doing the IGTL race right now. IGTL has a big 6-hour stint race happening right now. But we still have a pretty full lobby. Looks like we have 11 racers. Vitamin G, JL. Defsun is actually in here. Sorry about that. I didn't realize Defsun had made it. Maverick, Felix, Judoka, Kinetic, Dawson, DJ, 90, and Chewy all ready to get in here and racing. And I have standings information for those people somewhere. I'm pulling it up now. Alright, yeah, we've got, trying to take a look and see what their full point standings are. Looks like I'm gonna have to hide some columns. Am I allowed to hide some columns? First duck check going down right now. Hopefully we don't end up with any issues there. Get stuck. Okay, some chaos before we hit turn 1, but I don't see anyone stuck on track. So besides the chaotic start there, everyone should be good as far as connection goes. Hopefully the start isn't actually like that in real life. We'll see. We shall see. Checking to see if anyone is actually got stuck now. I didn't see anyone, but hopefully if someone did get stuck, they'll self-report and they'll get it cleared up. There should be 2 stuck checks and then the beginning of qualifying. Let's pull up some pertinent information. Another stuck check in 2 minutes. Hey, Nikodana, here to support Vitamin and Dawson. Not a bad look. Not a bad look. Let's see. What are the current standings? Where is Vitamin sitting? And where are both Vitamin and Dawson sitting? Let's take a look. Vitamin. Well, we get to Dawson first. Actually, Dawson is 8th in the championship right now. With how many points have you got, Dawson? 147 points. Vitamin is 12th in the championship with 104 points. So both of them have work to do. Lots of work to do to make it up to the top. But if you believe in them, I believe in them. How about that? We have another stuck check going here. Much cleaner start. And no one's stuck again. It was a good look. A very good look. That's awesome. After the stuck check, starts qualifying, which is 20 minutes? Yes, 20-minute qualifying round. There's a grace period of 90 seconds after that. But, yeah, 20 minutes. We're running just a little bit behind here in the room, but not too bad. Looks like they're starting to get out there. Uh-oh, a change has been made. Putting it in qualifying mode. Also resets the lobby just to make sure everything runs smoothly. Makes sense to me. I'm broadcasting, not raising Vitamin. .90, however, I believe, should ready up. Can't afford to lose this start, I don't think. Let's see, where does 90 sit? 90 sits in 9th place with 144 points, so... Alright. Lobby host is checking in on me. You know, that's caring. I appreciate that Vitamin cares because too few people do, I guess. I guess that's why I appreciate it. Alright, where are my keyboard shortcuts? Qualifying has begun. We've got a couple people already out there, already doing their thing. JL hopped out first, followed by Phoenix and Defsun, who are going to have to decide to let one pass. Yep. Felix goes ahead and lets Defsun go past. Typically a good idea, as, you know, you're just going to be holding Defsun up, basically. In any case, everyone's going to get themselves an outlap on the mountain here, just to clear out any cobwebs they got going on, get the tires warmed up, get them ready for qualifying. We should start seeing times in 3 or 4 minutes. Dawson unable to pull out of the pits. That's not a good thing. Stuck in the pits there. Kinetic, looks like Kinetic's able to get out. It looks like just Dawson is having issues here. But it's interesting because they didn't get stuck in the stuck check. Pit bug is always fun. Pit bug makes no sense. And has been a part of the game for several updates now. I don't know what PD has to do to be able to fix it, but it's quite a nuisance. It does mean they'll have to restart qualifying, because in order to fix that, you need to restart the lobby. But we'll see what decision the stewards take here. In the meantime, let's see. Defsun is finishing up. JL and Defsun, rather, are finishing up their outlaps, as well as Felix now getting ready to get some quick laps in here. This first one won't be their quickest. Well, actually, it can be. If I recall correctly, fuel and tires are turned off for qualifying. Yes, tire wear and fuel consumption are turned off for qualifying. So the cars are as light as they're going to get right now. The tires are as warmed up as they're going to get right now. It's go time. Vitamin's calling the restart though, so JL's not going to get to finish this lap. We're not going to see any laps finished here. The whole lobby will be reset in an effort to get Dawson out of the pits and to stop whatever's causing them to get stuck. Hopefully we don't just repeat the issue with someone new. That's always a possibility. The networking in this game can sometimes be a bit tricky. It is what it is. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? I guess if it's nighttime where you are, it's not night here yet. 4 p.m. Eastern, but I know we've got some European folks watching. We got Europeans in the lobby. Chewy, Vitamin G, Felix, JL. Qualifying now canceled. Looks like they were able to get everyone off track. Dawson has yet to return, so I'm guessing they're going to wait on Dawson to do all the appropriate resets and the like. If you're going to do all these resets, it's quite a process. Typically you go in and before you shut the game down, well, first you leave the lobby system. You leave a lobby, you go to the main menu just to get yourself off the online stuff, out of the servers. And you go here, and I believe you go to options. Yes, and in options you go to network and you can delete your temporary data. You can clear your online cache, basically, for the game. A lot of times that causes issues with lobbies and getting stuck in lobbies. And then when you do that, you restart your PlayStation. At the same time, you reset your modem. By the time your modem is back up, your PlayStation should be back up. You can open the game, come back online, and hopefully that resolves your issues. And that is probably why Dawson is taking a while here. It's going to take several minutes to perform all those steps and wait for their internet connection to come back up here. In the meanwhile, we got a few people going ahead and taking advantage of this time to get in some more laps. You can never have enough laps of Mount Panorama. It's a very difficult course. One of the stranger street courses in the world. Dawson's back. That's good news. They should be starting qualifying soon. But yeah, Mount Panorama is a street course. This is a public road in Queensland, Australia, I believe. I could be wrong about that. Adelaide. Maybe it's Adelaide, Australia is the town. I don't know Australia very well. But Mount Panorama is one of the best circuits in the world. This is a public mountain road. It climbs over the Mount Panorama, and then comes back down the other side. As you can see here, lots and lots of downhill as JL makes his way onto Conrad Straight there. It is a street circuit. You can see houses and farms along the way here in Gran Turismo's rendering of it. Those really exist, and it's a lot of fun. It's pretty wide here, but as you go over the mountain, I'll show you guys. We'll follow JL for a lap. Assuming JL comes out first. Yep, JL has come out first again. So let's take you on a lap around Mount Panorama at night. This is down the front straight here, heading into turn 1. I don't remember the name of turn 1. I had it up a moment ago. Give me a second and I'll pull up the corner names. But turn 1's a tricky third gear corner here. You can take it as wide as you want if you're not too afraid. Turns 2 and 3, this is the Audi Elbow, if I recall correctly. I gotta get these corner names for you guys. Very, very tricky and slippery turn. Here you start your climb up the mountain, going through Solomon Park. The car gets pretty light here in parts, so you have to be careful. A couple of, not quite zero gravity, but it almost feels like it, because the car crests like that right there, and the front can get a little bit light. But here we are at Skyline, going down into the S's. Oh, a little bit squirrely. It could just be a little bit lag on my screen here. You'd be down in second gear, up to third there. They're short shifting it. I believe this is the Lexus, so you do short shift it a little bit into the Falcon Elbow. That starts you down Conrad Straight, very long straight, known as Conrad for the obvious reason that many a person has probably blown a connecting rod through their block right here, because it's top speed, top RPMs, until you come down and whoa it up for this very, very slow second or sometimes third gear corner, depending on how your car is geared. Coming down into the Armor All Bridge and into the last corner. It's a 90-degree turn. Seems simple, but you know what? You're carrying a lot of speed into it, and it's slippery on exit. So you want to be gentle on the throttle. And now down the front finish straight rather, to the finish line. That is one lap around Mount Panorama. JL has just finished their outlap, and now it's time for the real thing. Should be getting lap times coming in about 2 minutes. Oh, and Defson spins it, starting their first lap. So he's gonna have to, this is a throwaway, I guess. Good thing there's no fuel and tire. Gonna check and make sure not to ruin anyone else's lap as they re-exit here. There's no fuel and tire wear during qualifying, so that's just a little bit of lost time. It's not lost tires or anything like that, but that didn't look like fun. Alright, Mount Panorama track map. Let's pull it up, and I'll take you guys around for another lap, except a lap that actually, like, was correct. Alright. So big. We have anyone starting a lap up? No one's starting a lap, but JL is finishing up a lap, so we should have that first lap time there soon. Everyone's pretty well spread out. There are rules in place against using another player's slipstream during qualifying, and so DefSun is going to pull over here and let cars pass by so they can have a clean run at the next lap. JL coming across the finish line now is going to set the first time of 2 minutes 53, pretty much a 2-minute flat. Let's see if that gets bested by anyone after this first lap here. Felix with a 2:01.2, Chewy with a 2:01.2 as well, but just behind Felix. Oh, and now it's set. Jidoka with a 2:01.1 brings it up to third place, gets beat by DJ with a 2:02, up to second place for DJ, the only person so far besides JL to break the 2-minute mark. Maverick just set a 2:02.8. Dawson, another 2 minutes, 9 seconds. 2 minute, 0.9 seconds. Gets up to third place there. Vitamin with a 2:06. It sounds like a lap where something bad happened. That's going to bring him to the bottom. Deffy sets a 2:44, but we actually saw Deffy spin. Just got a little bit lucky there with the camera. Let's see what Deffy does on this first lap, though, this starting lap. What camera angle do we prefer? We prefer this one. So, Defson's going down the mountain straight here, going into turn 1, known as Griffin's Bend. Very smooth here. Not a lot of drama from that Ferrari 458, which is interesting. Now into, that's the name I was looking for, the cutting. Very slow. Second gear corner here. Maybe first if you got a car with a very long first gear. As he climbs up, going through Reed Park and Sullivan Park. This is no brakes here, but you do lift a little bit for some of these corners. It's touch and go, but you also want to keep momentum as you are going uphill. You're starting your climb up the mountain. They go through Skyline here. Oh, a little bit sketchy, but held on to it. Going down into the S's, you are slowing down the entire time you're going down the S's. Very difficult to balance the car while you also disturb it with the brakes and turning left and right. They get here through Forest Elbow, also known as the Falcon Elbow. Flawless. That gets Deffy a very good run into Conrad straight here. They should hit whatever top speed that Ferrari can give them before they hit the next corner. Just a little bit of a kink here. You don't have to lift, though you can, and then you start braking somewhere at the end of those advertisements, the big ones on the right. In the second gear through the chase here. And oh no! Held on to it, but that's going to ruin the lap as he stops or brakes a little bit early for Murray's corner with those dirty tires, but new lap time is going to be set, but it's not going to be at the top. It's a 2-minute 2 though, even with that mistake, which tells me that DefSun has something JL doesn't, because that put him in second place behind JL, even with that massive mistake. Maverick carefully picking his way through the cutting. Starting that climb up the mountain. Turbo noises. Oh, a little bit too much curb there. Disturbs the car a lot. I'll probably lose a little bit of time doing that. Don't touch that grass on the right. It will spin you, and then you slow down and try to keep the car as steady as you can going down the S's here. And the dipper, that big drop right there, that big left-hand drop is known as the dipper for obvious reason. That's not on my track map, actually. I feel away. And this is the official map from, oh no, it's on here. It's on here. I missed it. I'll allow it. Let's see. Oh, sketchy, kinetic, sketchy. Hold on to it. The views of this track are gorgeous. Felix breaking into the 2-minute mark with a 2-minute 9. Kinetic probably having a little bit of a tough time getting that Aston Martin to turn, but it should shine in the straights, like right here. Conrad, one of the better top speed cars around here. Discord notification going off. How dare you, Discord? Meanwhile, who else is doing well? Let's go towards the top. Defsun just beat JL by several tenths with a 59.6. That's what I thought. JL now in second place, and they have almost half a second to make up. DJ still holding on strong in third place. Looking for a better time here. How can I pull up their time? Let's see. I'm not able to see DJ's timing tree. Oh, there we go. DJ's best lap was that 2:02 2.5 laps ago, so hopefully they figure it out and get something a little bit quicker. They're coming up on traffic now, though, and that might affect them. They will get a bit of a tow, a slipstream here. Unfortunately, that can't be helped. Hopefully they don't incur a penalty or something like that, because it's, you know, they didn't do it on purpose. They didn't slow down to position themselves to get a tow. However, they are about close enough to get one. Yeah, getting a little bit closer to 90 here does look like they've got a little bit of a slipstream there. Ooh, massively better on the brakes than 90 going into the chase there. Felix with a 2:004 puts them in 5th place. A lot of curve there. Let's see, does this... No, DJ does not improve. Fast lap, but does not... Oh, no, I'm sorry. DJ did improve, but the 59.8, not enough. Still only in 3rd place because JL is sitting on a 59.7 right now, just trying to chase down Defsun. I didn't see that they had set that time, but they have broken the minute 59 barrier very fast. Defsun breaks their record again with a 59.5. JL out in the grass, hold it. Oh, swinging, sliding. It doesn't seem like this is a very smooth lap to me, but a lot of it also looks like perhaps we have some weird lag with us, because none of the other drivers' cars seem to be acting like this when I look at them. No. It may just be lag with the region. Well, no. DJ doesn't seem to be having a great time either. JL coming through the chase. Let's see if they're able to catch Defsun. It's got to be disappointing to see Defsun beat their time when they're trying so hard to just catch their last one. Let's see, JL coming across the line with... Doesn't improve. It's a 2:06. In fact, it was a much slower lap, almost a second slower than their fastest lap time. Not sure what happened there, but they've got about 6 minutes left in qualifying, a little less than 6 minutes. Still plenty of time to get in a good lap time. You got 3 more laps you can do there. Hopefully you get it. Got a couple of people in pits. I think they're calling it. They're just going to say, that's it. That's my position. Kinetic, Maverick, 90. Vitamin G still out there. But Kinetic, Maverick, and 90 seemingly done with qualifying. Happy with their positions. Or at least resigned to them. Dawson with a new time. A 2:06 gets them up to 4th place. Deffy going even faster with the 59.4. Come on, JL. I know it's got to be hard chasing him. Vitamin, new time, 2:02.5. That gets Vitamin still in 11th place. Fastest lap, but still in 11th behind everyone else. Again, there's still time. You know what? I didn't notice the time remaining there. It's actually more than 6 minutes. They had a lot more than 6 minutes than what I said. Why is DJ just chilling on track? I think... Oh, I thought maybe they were done, but they're not done. They're just doing a thing. Thing done. Judoka and a big old Corvette engine. Big old LS. Pratt & Miller build these? Something like that. Pratt & Miller, is that right? Am I thinking about the engine, the airplane engine, guys? It doesn't matter. Judoka is about to come end the lap here, and they're looking pretty good, so I'm curious to see what that qualifying time is. Felix with a 2:00.02. Judoka did not set a new qualifying time. Bit slower than their fastest lap. Their fastest lap was way back on lap 3, so not sure what's going on there, but maybe they'll find magic. They got 5 minutes left to do it. That's enough time for 2 laps, maybe 3, because the leeway is 90 seconds, I believe, if you have started your last lap. Defsun faster again with a 59.4. The last one was a 59.4. I think he just beat his time by, yep, just a few thousandths. Defsun is taking no prisoners. No JL is right behind him. JL really hustling that Nissan around. A little bit squirrely on the exit of the elbow onto Conrad. That hurts. That does hurt you. You know, that's worth, it can be worth 2 or 3 miles an hour by the end of the straight. And when the lap times are this close, when you are 2/10 off from pole, every mile an hour counts. Every bit of a mile an hour counts. But we'll see how it goes. Banging down the shifts into second gear for the chase. Very, very smooth looking coming out of there. Under the Armor All Bridge, coming down to Murray Corner for what is going to be one of their last laps around here. A little bit in the grass, a little bit squirrely. Is that going to hurt? It hurt a little bit, but I don't think it was... I don't think that it was going to be a faster lap than their fastest, the 59.6. I'll say that. DJ in the pits. I guess DJ was also done. Maybe they realized they need to be in the pits instead of just somewhere out on track. Judoka breaks the 2-minute mark. The 2-minute mark rather. Barely, but with a 2-minute .995, that brings them up to 7th place. I think they were already in 7th. If I recall correctly, actually. But it just brings them a little bit further away from Kinetic, who isn't trying anyway, so I suppose it doesn't matter. Dawson still steadily getting better with the lap times. Just set a new lap. What was it? A 2:00.02. Very quick in that Supra. It's a very good straight line car. Some would say it's unfair that the Supra is so fast in a straight line. Some think it's related to PD's relationship with Toyota. I don't know. Maybe we're not allowed to say that stuff out loud, but I said it. But Dawson's doing pretty well to use all that power. DJ, like I said, is parked. JL still trying. JL is probably going to try till the very end, as Defsun is as well. Just never satisfied, always pushing. That's how it should be. Stay out there and you lap and lap, even if you are at the top. Wow, just dancing through the S's in that Ferrari. Just crazy car control. It's no wonder that he consistently finds several tenths more than even the fastest racers on the track here. JL with a 59.4. They bring it very, very close to Defsun. Bring it down to 35 thousandths of a second And still, it wasn't fast enough. So let's see. Is Defsun going to bring that gap back to where it was? And is JL going to take another lap here? JL looks like he's going to take another lap and should be able, yep, he'll be able to finish that lap and try to gain supremacy at the last minute. Dawson breaking the 59 mark. Defsun does not go faster on that lap. Let's watch JL. Let's see what JL does. Hey, Sean. Turismo no longer exists. Uh-oh, we've got Chewy gone. I wonder if he just got disconnected there. That sucks. JL a bit sketchy, a bit squirrely down the S's. I think that's probably hurt his chances of getting this, unless that cut was done on purpose to a little bit of a wall tap coming out of the elbow. All those things add up. So let's see what the final tally ends up being. We just got a few more seconds in this lap. A few more seconds in qualifying. JL rounding the last corner. Up the straight. Probably got his foot down to the floor. Does not improve. In fact, they're half a second slower on that lap. And that is going to end qualifying. Pardon me. Wow, that was rude. Sorry. Came out of nowhere. They were the Beatles of GT Sport. Well, a lot of them are now with PX7. PX7 Racing. I'm actually not sure what that stands for. I feel like I once knew. Phoenix 7 eSports. I knew, but I couldn't remember. Which is different from Team Phoenix eSports. I'm not sure what the differences are. When I learn, I will let you guys know. But it looks like that ends qualifying for all. Yeah, I don't see anyone still on a fast lap. It looks like it's automatically slowed everyone down. No, not everyone. Perhaps they just paused. Kinetic making that V10 scream. V12 rather. Gotta love it. Putting on a show for us. Five seconds on the timer, but this is your order for qualifying. Defsun, JL, DJ, Dawson, Felix, Jidoka. I didn't know that was going to go that fast. It's okay. You guys saw it. You saw it. Here we go. Standing start for a pretty diverse grid here. And that's on purpose. That's by design. I believe only 4 of any car are allowed in the series as a whole, and this is only 1 of 4 divisions, so you can see how the cars are all pretty diverse. Defsun with a very good start. That Ferrari is one of the best standing start cars in the game, and it looks like everyone gets through pretty clear. pretty clean. That's awesome. Great start. But it looks like Defson in the hole shot is going to get to run away unless JL can keep him right in his crosshairs. JL already poking his nose, just making sure Defson sees him in the mirror. Maybe he can force a mistake early on and get the pole position here and continue. Otherwise, he's going to want to just tuck in under that wing and ride the coattails. Mid-pack already starting to separate. There's a big gap between Judoka and Felix. 1.2 seconds of a gap as they go up the mountain for the first time through Solomon and Reed Parks, up over through Skyline. As you can see, this is why it's called Skyline. It's a beautiful view there. Down into the S's. Hard on the brakes for Judoka there. A little bit squirrely going down the dipper, but nothing too bad. Not gonna lose out much here. You want to get a good exit out of the elbow here, just to get right up behind your opponent. Uh-oh, I can't swap camera views, so I'm gonna have to get out of here, come back in. That's a fun little glitch in the game. There we go. Now we can swap views. Let's get rid of all this extra stuff. Let's just show you that Mount Panorama at night is gorgeous, and it's really fun racing in the game. If you have not gone to this track or played this track or learned this track in Gran Turismo Sport or whatever game you play, you should. It's a lot of fun. The straights are pretty straight, so you know that part is standard issue, but good for slipstream battles. But when you get into those curves and get up over the mountain, that's when this track really shines. JL is in front of Defson, and I missed it because I was so busy talking about this track. Somehow they got the upper hand on Defson here and have him by about half a second, which isn't a whole lot at this track. As you can see, Defson is still right there, probably struggling a little bit in the slipstream going up the mountain. Slipstream is a bit rougher in the game now, but so far Defy's doing a good job handling it, not going offline too much. As they chase down JL, trying to get their first place back. Meanwhile, DJ has managed to hold on to both of them. If I was DJ, I'd just hold on to somebody's slipstream and stay there until they fight and maybe see if I can capitalize and get the position, but I am not in the race. Judoka up to fourth. Felix with a big gap to Judoka. 3.3 seconds up in fourth. The field is already really starting to separate itself here. We got couple of groups of three. What is the ABS bug? I'm not familiar with that at all, but looks like Vitamin G's got it. Let's see. All three go through the corner very cleanly. Looks like bumper to bumper for these three here. And then we've got Maverick in the back with 90. Meanwhile, JL pulling an even bigger gap on Defson. Makes me wonder if Defson isn't just saving fuel again. Because the gap was half a second. And I saw nothing really wrong with Defson's driving that would cause a big gap like that to happen. So could be Defy's just saving fuel, going down in the order because of it. Don't know. I guess it'll come down to see how easily DJ passes him. If he also lets DJ pass easily, that's probably the case. Dawson showing off the speed of that Supra. Even with the slipstream, just making Dawson look, or making Felix look like he's driving backwards. Easily gets the position there. Back up front, JL, gap is even bigger, 1.3 seconds. At this point, I think we know, yeah, Defsun's definitely saving fuel for something, probably part of the strategy. Defsun is quicker than JL on a lap around the mountain. And, well, right now they're letting JL go and letting DJ get closer. Looks like Dawson's starting to pull a bit of a gap. Not even a bit of a gap. It's a big gap. It's 1.5 seconds on Felix now. Just really got away from him once he made that pass. And at this point, Felix is going to have to worry more about Kinetic than Dawson, because Kinetic is right there trying to get him in. He's probably going to drive around Felix in the back straight here. Let's take a look. Not quite able to get up to them in the slipstream, which makes me think perhaps they are happy to just sit back there and save fuel, because they didn't seem to be getting much closer either. And I know for sure the Aston is faster in a straight line than the R8. So strategies starting to play out for these drivers. Kinetic trying to save fuel. Defsun also trying to save fuel. Doesn't have a whole lot to worry about from DJ just yet, as something must have happened. DJ is now 2.3 seconds behind Defsun, who is patiently just driving that car the way they plan to drive it. Just sticking to the strategy and not letting the heat of the moment get the best of you. Not trying to chase JL, not trying to speed away from DJ, just staying in there and catching the rhythm. What is this? Dawson coming up to Jidoka. Said Dawson was running away from Felix and Kinetic, and now he's running towards Jidoka. Looks like Jidoka's gonna have something to worry about very, very soon here. Checking out, see if we have any other battles happening. None so far, just this one coming up between Jidoka and Dawson. Let's go on board with Dawson as they chase Jidoka down. Third gear for Dawson in the chase. Like I said, some cars it's a third gear corner. Depends on your gearing and fuel saving situation. Dawson definitely short shifting here. Not really getting too much closer. In fact, the gap is about a tenth bigger now, but I expect that we'll see something soon here. In the meantime, JL's got his gap up to 3 seconds on Depson. Depson is just kind of coasting at this point, just chilling, running their race. A little bit of a wall tap there. That's okay, it happens. It happens. Oh, careful, don't touch that grass. Someone was just through here. There's evidence of that. All this dust coming up. Who is Depson following behind? JL, yes, but JL seems so far ahead. I didn't think that we would still see their dust, but I guess we do. Thought perhaps someone was being lapped. Meanwhile, Jidoka's still being chased by Dawson, who's got that gap way lower now. Now he's looking right in those taillights. Can probably see the individual design elements. Still saving fuel, still short shifting. So probably just taking his time about catching him. But I think if Dawson wants Jidoka, he's got him. A little squirrely on exit. That's going to hurt them on this straight. It's going to hurt them big, and they're already losing time. It's going to be more than a tenth by the end of the straight. No, maybe not more. They're still in the slipstream. Looks like the time they're losing is slowing down, and in fact, they're getting closer now, so never mind. It net ended up about the same gap. Yay, physics! Something happened to JL. JL down to 5th, but perhaps they just yeah, they got fuel or tires. It's an outlap for them. So no crash, just a pit stop. Taking an early pit stop. No real reason to, except perhaps to undercut and stay out of traffic. But they've pitted a little bit earlier than everyone else. Let's see if Depson's going to pit here. Not quite at the end of the lap yet, but getting there. Still followed by DJ, but DJ just can't seem to match Depson's pace. Even with Depson, it's fuel saving and obviously at a slower pace than they normally would be. DJ not able to get any closer. Jidoka still holding off Dawson. It seems like this battle is ebbing and flowing a lot. Dawson is just getting a little bit closer sometimes and seems content to back off, or maybe it's a luck thing. I'm not sure. But Jidoka's still holding on, and never mind, Jidoka pits. Dawson goes through for 3rd place. Jidoka's going to go ahead and pit now, pitting along with the leader. You know, from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like it's such a long pit window, not pit window, but pit delta. It doesn't seem like it took very long from the time Jidoka entered to when they got to this animation. But when you're behind the wheel, I promise you, Mount Panorama feels like one of the longest pit stops in the world. Let's see where Jidoka comes out. Looks like they come out just in front of Kinetic, right behind Felix. Not too much of a loss there, actually, and all these people, most people still owe pit stops, so that actually places Jidoka technically in 2nd place behind JL, assuming everyone else pits this lap, which is not an assumption that we can actually make, and isn't the case. Looks like Defsun staying out again. I don't know if Defsun is on another 1-lap strategy like the last race. Not 1 lap, 1 stop. In the last race, Defsun won simply by stopping less. And that might be the case again tonight. We'll see. Dawson in the pits. DJ in the pits. Defsun still staying out. I think what I said is the case. Defsun is staying out. That gap to JL is 15 seconds. Which, may be enough to pit and stay out ahead. I'm not sure. Do we get information on the pit time? No, we do not get information on how long people spend in the pits. Oh wow, Felix came out right next to Dawson. They're gonna side by side it down the front straight here. Well, they're not side by side anymore, but you know what I mean. Felix is gonna have to be careful with those cold tires coming straight out of the pits. Not gonna be easy to attack right now with cold tires and with Dawson, who is fresh off the track and, you know, doesn't have to reacclimate. Even that short time off track, you sometimes take a moment to get back into the groove. So hopefully Dawson can hold on to their third place there. JL in the meantime in completely clean air, just lapping at this point to try and catch up to Defsun. Maybe if Defsun does decide to pit, there will be a closeness there again and they can battle it out. We'll see. Defsun is a pretty conservative racer. Defsun is usually content to just get those fast laps all by himself. So I don't know that he's going to have a strategy that puts him right into a battle for first, but we'll see. Defsun now in the pits at about the halfway mark. So yeah, looks like a single stop strategy for them, and they will come out behind JL. I think JL coming up to the last corner here is definitely going to cross the finish line before Defsun gets out. Defsun still fueling while JL passes the start finish. So yeah, oof. Now Dawson has passed by, and another is going to pass by as well. So Defsun out of the pits, but guess what? Only 6 seconds behind JL. JL is going to have to pit again. JL pitted pretty early, was the first to pit, in fact. So they're going to have to pit again, and that pit window is definitely, that pit delta is longer than 6.5 seconds, whatever this gap is going to end up being over the course of the next stint. I think Defsun made a wise strategy call there. It's going to be a matter of saving fuel, and it's going to be a matter of tire wear at this point. But I think we've seen Defsun ride pretty far on some tires that anyone else would have crashed on, and still managed to be quick. So I'm not calling it. It's not a race that you can call yet, but I'm saying a smart strategy play was just made. I think Defsun is the only one on that one stop strategy, though. Everyone else has pitted at this point. If I missed anyone pitting, my bad. But I think everyone's there. So this is the current running order for the race. JL, Defsun, Dawson, Felix with DJ right behind him. But Felix has gotten that gap a little bit bigger. That's good. Well done. Good to use that outlap. Judoka also in a battle right now with Kinetic. They have been together for quite a while, in fact, to the point where I think Kinetic might actually just be just holding back in order to stay in the slipstream and save fuel, because it doesn't seem like they've really tried to pass Judoka in earnest. That could start to change as we're approaching their final stint. People are going to start pitting again pretty soon here. I think people were pitting around lap 6, 7, and we're about 6 or 7 laps away from the end of the race now. So pit lap 67, take 5 or 6 lap stint. My math makes sense. 90 and Maverick still in the back. Not really much to speak on for these two in the race tonight, but definitely commendable efforts to them out here, because it's not easy being on a track this hard with people this fast, and just staying in it it's half the battle. JL has got that gap up to 8 seconds now, actually. I wonder if something happened with DevSun, or if they just really are having to save a lot of fuel. No real way of knowing without completely cheating as the broadcaster, though. Let's do it. This is eSports. This isn't real racing. If I can see your fuel, I'm going to use it. Let's go. DevSun, where are you shifting? Shifting at the halfway mark. DevSun is saving. We got 3/4 of a tank of fuel left. They're still within where they would get past JL if JL were to pit right now. The gap is not so big that it can't overcome that pit window. So JL is probably happy to see it sinking, but is it really sinking, or is DevSun just settling into a pace that he knows is going to get him first place? I guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, Dawson has really just kind of unwaveringly been charging forward in this race. He's up to 3rd place now. If you recall correctly, he just pretty much dog-walked DJ and Felix down the back straight a few laps ago in that Supra. Now, they gonna be pulling up on DevSun, or if they are, I would like to see it. Kinetic in the pits. Looks like we're gonna start seeing people pit for their final stint. New tires, almost a full tank of fuel. They'll make it happen, Kinetic. Meanwhile, JL again comfortably in that lead. One wheel off at the dipper. Luckily, it doesn't seem to have affected the car too much. Dawson's still looking quick. Felix also coming down through the elbow. DJ, Judoka. Maverick not coming down the elbow. JL, final pit stop for them. Let's see. DevSun was about 9 seconds back when this stop started. DevSun just passed by, and that gives them first place. So now it's going to be up to JL to chase after fueling up here. Let's see. They're coming out. How far away? 7.5 seconds behind, and it's going to go up a little bit as they get back up to speed going down this front straight here. But that is the gap between JL and DevSun. It can be overcome in a race. I have seen crazier miracles. So I'm not counting JL out at all. It's just 7.5 minutes, 7.5 seconds is a lot of time to have behind someone like DevSun. What do we have here? DJ getting around Judoka for 3rd place. I guess Dawson must not have pitted. Or just lost it, because it looks like they've gotten fresh fuel, but the tires don't look very fresh. But they're no longer in 3rd. Which, I guess, means a thing. They're still in the fight, though. Dawson's still in the fight behind Judoka and DJ. What's Felix doing? Felix has been running mostly alone for a while now. putting in pretty quick laps. Did a very fast lap. Lap 11, 2:01.3. Then they had their in lap, and this is their out lap. So neither one of those will challenge that 2:01.3. Well, the out lap might, but it won't count because it's an out lap. Kinetic, meanwhile, no longer behind Felix. Like I said, Felix has been running by himself for a little while now. I said a few laps. I think that's an exaggeration. It hasn't been several laps, but since the pit stop, Felix has gotten away from Kinetic. Kinetic was saving a lot of fuel behind him, but that's over now. 90 and Maverick still just running their own races alone, 10 seconds apart from each other at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Def Sun losing a little bit in that gap to JL. I want to see if this becomes a battle, but we don't have very much time in the race left. However, if it does go down, my money is on... I can't say. I won't say. I'm not allowed to say as a commentator. What I will say... No, I won't say it. I won't say the thing that I will say. DJ, Dawson, all of them now looking at Judoka like, are you going to lead us to freedom or get out of the way? I think they probably would rather him get out of the way here. Judoka must be feeling massive pressure here, but you can't see it in his racing. Judoka, you're gonna go defensive. Oh, the two Supras getting a side-by-side formation behind. Nope. They decide to all go through in single file. That Corvette is no slouch in the straight line either, but the Supras are pretty formidable. Judoka is pitting, lets them go. I did not know Judoka still owed a pit stop. I suppose that makes sense. I think we might have a few who still owe a stop. Of that Corvette. Meanwhile, what are DJ and Dawson doing? Nah, they're far from each other. Didn't really end up getting into a battle. I thought they might, but it didn't happen. Meanwhile, Def Sun's maintaining the gap to JL. Actually got it up to 7 seconds here, but somewhere around 6.87 seconds is where I expected it to stay. Oof. Oh, Judoka into the wall and sideways. That's no good. Kinetic's pretty far away. Probably not going to catch Judoka. But, yeah. A little bit of a flat slide through the elbow there. That's gotta be disappointing. But none too worse for the wear there. Just lost one position. Though I suppose when you're in a race of 9, that's a big deal. 90 for their final pit stop. A splash and go. No tires, just a splash of fuel to make it to the end here. I'm not sure if 90 stopped when everyone else stopped. So it could be that they did and made a mistake on fuel. Or it could be that they decided to stay out very late and just had to get a little bit. JL with another fastest lap with 2:02 right there. This will be the last lap of the race. Doesn't look like they're going to catch Defsun, who once again seems to have beat the field on strategy. Not on pace, but on having the strategy to do a one stop, just a single stint. Sorry, one double stint, actually, I guess. First stint, pit stop, and then second stint. Whereas everyone else broke it into 3. The gap is falling, though. It's 4.8 seconds. Not that it matters. Defsun's probably just taking it a little bit easy for the end. You know, don't want to crash it when you made it this far. You have anyone else in some close battles? No, everyone else is probably going to finish in this order. Good. It looks really good. For Defsun, that is. Coming up through the chase. One corner left. And that's it. Finish line. Flashing the lights down. JL is going to come through next in second place. Very, very good racing effort. Valiant effort. Dawson back up to third place. Well done. I didn't see how that happened, but it happened. Crossing the line in third. Proud, flashing the lights. And then here come DJ and Felix to round out the top 5. Congratulations to those top racers, especially to the podium guys. Defsun in first, JL in second, and Dawson in third. Very good race, good strategy call by Defsun again. Wonder if others are going to pick that strategy up going forward in the season. I believe there are 2 more rounds, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. Let me see. Do I have a schedule readily handy? Not readily. Let me see. One more round, actually. We're taking a break for a couple of weeks for Christmas, but January 5th will be La Sarthe, aka Le Mans, with chicanes. That should be a pretty fun race. Good race to everyone. And I'd like them to have a good night. If I can find have a good evening. Does that exist? Did I make that up? How about see you again? That works. Alright, guys. That was a good time. I would stay and hang out longer, but I can't. I've got to go grab a bite to eat before I come back for my own race that I'm doing. Thank you for watching. This will, of course, stay up on the YouTube. If you missed the beginning, you can go back and watch that. But another good race for the eSGT GT3 inaugural season. We got one more race left. Again, that's January 5th. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.